On September 2nd, 1957, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. attended a conference commemorating the 25th anniversary of the Highlander Folk School. The conference was titled "The South, Thinking Ahead." The event included workshops on integration and was attended by civil rights leaders including Dr. King, Rosa Parks, and Reverend Ralph Abernathy of the Montgomery bus boycott, among others. The Highlander Folk School was established in 1932 in Montego, Tennessee by Miles Horton and Don West to train and organize Southern laborers. In the 1950s, the school's main focus shifted to civil rights and school integration. Workshops were held to train organizers and pass literacy tests in order to vote. At the conference during Labor Day weekend in 1957, Dr. King delivered the closing address in a speech titled "The Look to the Future."
In order to look to the future, it is often necessary to get a clear picture of the past in order to know where we are going.
King described his vision of the future and the new phase that began after the Supreme Court's decision in Brown versus the Board of Education. The speech emphasized the role for labor unions within the fight for civil rights and had a great impact on the attendees of the conference. The conference was also attended by two individuals under false pretenses. Abner Berry was a writer for the Communist Daily Worker, and Ed Friend was an agent of the Georgia Education Commission. Friend attended the conference with the intention to spy. Throughout the weekend, he made multiple efforts to photograph Abner Berry together with Dr. King and took multiple photos and videos of black and white conference attendees socializing together. His intentions behind this were later revealed. Friend published a 4-page pamphlet titled "Communist Training School, Montego, Tennessee," with photos of Dr. King and Berry together. The pamphlets were put out by the Georgia Education Commission in an effort to discredit Dr. King and the civil rights movement, and pictures of social events showing black and white conference patrons dining and dancing together on campus ring alarm bells in the racially segregated South. In 1959, state deputies raided the school looking for evidence of communist propaganda. No evidence of any crime was found, but local authorities discovered alcohol in Horton's home, which was on school property. A Grundy County judge ordered the school closed and its charter revoked. On August 21, 1961, Horton filed a charter with the state to reopen the existing school in Knoxville, which would become what is now known as the current Highlander Research and Education Center. The allegation of communist ties to Dr. King and the civil rights movement continued after the 1957 conference, and the falsehoods continued to spread. An aggressive FBI probe later began. The federal government's efforts to undermine and humiliate Dr. King intensified after the March on Washington in 1963, including a series of wiretaps and paid informants. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover was obsessed with destroying the Communist Party and became engaged in a serious campaign to discredit the work of Dr. King. Although the wiretap stopped in 1966, the investigation continued until the assassination of Dr. King in 1968. It was later revealed that the FBI never had any evidence that Dr. King was a communist or had any connection with the Communist Party.
All men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
But it all started with a spy named Ed Friend who attended a conference at the Highlander Folk School in Montego, Tennessee, and a speech that celebrated the achievements and possibilities of the ongoing fight for civil rights.
Maladjustment, we will be able to emerge from the bleak and desolate midnight of man's inhumanity to man into the bright and glittering daybreak of freedom and justice.